If you suffer from chronic pain, inflammation, or you have tried to lose weight in the past and it just hasn't been going your way, then this is a very important video that you need to watch all the way through to the end. Because what I am about to share with you is the one thing that nobody talks about when it comes to pain, inflammation, and weight loss. It's the truth, and it can change your life forever. So let's dive in. Welcome back to the channel, my friend. Thank you so much for tuning in today. If you're new here, I am a certified health and wellness coach. And if you've been around me for a while, you know that I help people transform their lives by getting to the root cause of their health concerns and eliminating those root causes naturally. So the topic for today is a really, really important one because it affects all of us in some shape or form. It is the one thing that nobody talks about when it comes to pain, inflammation, and weight loss. I'm going to take you down a little bit of a rabbit hole today because it's really important that you understand where this information comes from and how we got to this place where so many of us are suffering. You know, there was a time, and if you're older like me, you remember this, when you could go to your doctor and get actual real help. That doesn't happen anymore. And the reason that that doesn't happen anymore is because of a few things. But the main thing is that our doctors don't have the training. They don't have the education. And they actually do and have enough time to spend with their patients to be able to get to the root cause of a problem. They have about 15 minutes with each patient. If you have multiple problems, how in the heck are you going to be able to explain all of those problems to a doctor who is also trying to rush through so that they can see all of their other patients? You're not going to do it. And even if you did, they wouldn't know what to do with that information anyway. So we have this huge gap in our healthcare system where doctors are trained to treat symptoms, not to look at the root causes of why these symptoms are occurring in the first place. So people are suffering, and we're looking for answers. So people turn to the internet. Oh, thank goodness, right? There's all of this great information online. Well, not so fast. There's a lot of misinformation. And a lot of times you'll hear about all these different supplements to take, but nobody ever talks about the one thing that is probably causing all of these issues. Okay, so let me paint the picture for you of what the inside of your gut looks like if you have a healthy gut versus if you have an unhealthy gut. Okay, picture this. You have a beautiful, like almost transparent colon. It's pink. It's smooth. Everything is working like a well-oiled machine. There's no inflammation, no pockets of infection, nothing like that. The pH level is correct. There are no toxins in the colon. This person is going to be very healthy. Their immune system is going to be on point. They're not going to have any autoimmune conditions, not going to have any digestive issues. They're going to have good, consistent bowel movements. They're going to sleep well. They're going to think clearly. They're going to feel confident and happy. That's what a healthy gut looks like. Now picture the opposite. You have a colon that's actually gray. It's filled with pockets of infection. Maybe there's even some fungus growing in there. There's toxins, there's undigested food, there's parasites. There are all sorts of stuff that is going on in this colon that is wreaking havoc on the entire body. The person is going to feel awful. They're going to have brain fog. They're going to have joint pain. They're going to have digestive issues. They might even have anxiety or depression. This unhealthy colon is creating so many different problems for them. And this unhealthy colon is no longer able to absorb nutrients, which creates even more issues. You know what the kicker is? It can stay in this state for years and years and years without you even knowing it. You can live decades with an unhealthy colon, and you won't even know it. But what happens is, as time goes on, eventually your body is going to start to show you the symptoms. That's what happens in the body when there is an unhealthy gut. Here's the thing. You can do all of the cleanses and flushes and teas and herbs and all these different things to try to clean out your colon. And yes, that will help a little bit. But here's the problem. You're treating the symptom, not the cause. You have to get to the root cause of why the colon is unhealthy in the first place. And that is usually due to something called dysbiosis. Dysbiosis is an imbalance of the microbiome. It's when the bad bacteria outweighs the good bacteria. So when you eat foods that feed the bad bacteria like sugar, artificial sweeteners, refined grains, processed foods, unhealthy fats, things like that, the bad bacteria start to grow and take over. And now you're starting to have an unhealthy colon. Because of that, you're going to have a weakened immune system. You're going to have inflammation. You're going to have digestive issues. You're going to have leaky gut. You're going to have all of these other health concerns. This is why there are so many people that eliminate gluten or dairy or do a low-carb diet or a keto diet or a carnivore diet. and they find that their inflammation goes away. They find that their autoimmune conditions go into remission. They find that they lose weight. They find that they have better energy. They find that they can think clearly, are able to focus. They sleep better. All of this is because they have eliminated the foods that feed the bad bacteria. Now we want to get rid of the bad bacteria, not just put a Band-Aid on it and hope that the problem goes away. But here's what we have to realize. The only way to kill off the bad bacteria is by feeding the good bacteria. We have to starve off the bad bacteria by feeding the good bacteria. So when we eat prebiotic foods, which are fiber-based foods like vegetables, legumes, nuts, and seeds, we're feeding the good bacteria. When we eat probiotic foods, which are fermented foods like sauerkraut, kimchi, kefir, yogurt, kombucha, miso, tempeh, things like that, we're also feeding the good bacteria. This is why when you compare a healthy diet to an unhealthy diet, it's so easy to see that when you eat the unhealthy diet, which is high in sugar, high in refined grains, high in processed foods, high in unhealthy fats, you're going to have an unhealthy colon. But when you switch to a healthy diet, which is low in carbs, which is anti-inflammatory, which is nutrient-dense, which is whole food, unprocessed, you're going to have a healthy colon. And what happens when you have a healthy colon? You're going to have better digestion. You're going to have better absorption of nutrients. You're going to have better elimination. Your immune system is going to be stronger. You're going to have less inflammation. You're going to have more energy. You're going to be able to lose weight. You're going to be able to think clearly. You're going to be able to focus. You're going to be able to sleep better. You're going to be happier. You're going to have better skin. You're going to have better hair. You're going to have better nails. I mean, literally every single aspect of your physical body and your mental body is going to improve when you eat healthy. So the one thing that nobody shares when it comes to weight loss, when it comes to inflammation, when it comes to pain, is that most of these conditions are caused by an unhealthy gut. And the only way to fix it is by healing the gut, not treating the symptoms. I hope it gave you some insight as to why you've been struggling with your health, especially if you've been doing everything that everybody tells you to do. You re-eating clean, you're re-exercising, you're re-drinking your water, you're re-getting your sleep, but you're still not feeling 100%. Check your gut health. Look into dysbiosis. Learn more about probiotics and prebiotics and start feeding your good bacteria so that you can kill off the bad bacteria. Until next time, I wish you great health, great wealth, and great happiness. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching this video, my friends. As always, I would love to hear from you. Check in the description and find some natural food supplement that can help you to overcome the following issue, or leave me a comment below and tell me what you think.